quick update here. So the living wage, according to Work BC, for this general area of Victoria, southern Vancouver Island, is just over 24 bucks an hour. I'm currently working at the minimum wage, which is over $7 below that, at $16.75. If I wanted to try and get an apartment, there's no way that I could. And in fact, even if I wanted to rent a room, which is minimum 800, but more likely 1,000 or even above, I can't do that either. So, fortunately, I do like the camping lifestyle. Although I don't really like camping in the city, so I'm really desperately missing campfires and strumming some guitar. So I'm trying to make myself do it, but it's very tiring. Just having to make extra trips and having to travel or not travel, based on the amount of gas that I have. I really have to plan things very, very carefully, and I have my fuel light on again today, but I don't get any pay until Friday, so I put in my last 30 bucks into the tank, and I'm hoping that the fuel light will stay off until Friday, at least anyway. I'm hoping, but I'll have to be very careful. Which, if you're in a small town, somewhere more rural, where, there's lots of camping going on, it really wouldn't be a big deal. I never felt odd or embarrassed about living in a camper when I was working up in Holberg, down a logging road from Port Hardy, It was just like, yeah, this is cool, But there is a certain amount of stigma when, living in the city. Even though there's tons and tons of people, and the longer I'm here, the more people I see doing van life and, doing RV life. Like just, there's long row of campers along certain roads where I guess they, just tolerate it. So yeah, I guess that's the whole question is, I've been interviewing for lots of different jobs, and I'm really pursuing a living wage, or closer to a living wage. I'm really enjoying my job currently, at a supermarket and deli. I've trained for a couple of different positions there, and I really like chatting with the peoples, and I love that it's like all healthy, natural stuff. I like that it's a small family-owned business. It's really nice. But I'm still one car problem away from being really, really in trouble. Even if I got a flat tire, like I can't even afford a new tire for this rig. So, I'm just fingers crossed and everything. But we are coming to the end of the winter. It's February 27th today, and we had a nice warm spell of, 11, 12 degrees, and it dropped back down again. I saw some frost and some, frozen, little bit of freezing on the pavement this morning. I saw that the poor little purple crocuses that had come up were kind of like, I've seen daffodils coming up. They were the first things I started to see come up, and that was, solidly more than a couple of weeks ago. But now, like, the purple crocuses are, like, popping up, and, so I know spring is coming.
Everything you might dream of if you get in harmony with how these laws work.
Excuse that. So I know spring is coming, and I kind of want to... I keep trying to picture myself of like, okay, because with the dogs being 9 months old, they're really challenging, pushing boundaries and things. And I'm really fortunate that the two jobs that I have, there's the flexibility, to, bring the camper to work and then be able to walk them on my lunch. And especially at the deli, they've been more flexible to allow me to put a 15-minute break with my half-hour lunch. So it's a really nice break for the dogs, and they get out. And so, yeah, that's really a factor, because for any sort of pet care, I think pet care is the business to be in, actually, because especially if you love animals, because, oh my God, like the minimum, the cheapest is about $75 to $80 a day, and it can be up to $110 for 2 dogs. So I would be in heaven if I could make $110 a day, you know, and look after 2 dogs, you know, along with mine. I love dogs. I love them more than I've ever loved them in my life. I used to love dogs in general, but, you know, mostly my dogs. But now, even that I have these 2 cutie pooties, I'm still like starry-eyed when I get to meet a new pup. So, I mean, maybe that's note to self. I should be thinking about that. But the struggle though, the struggle of worrying about running out of gas. You know, I was on income assistance, which was $635 a month. And they don't make any allowance for people living in vehicles. If you are renting a room somewhere, I think they'll pay up to $500. But I mean, think about for people that are actually, you know, out looking for work. There's a cost associated with all that travel as well. And you would be spending more if you're paying $800 or $1,000 for a room to rent. You would be spending the entirety of what you have, and then that puts you kind of having to like pursue going to soup kitchens all the time. And so the struggle of the struggle of trying to subsist, you know, at really far below the livable amount, and trying to subsist on the minimum wage. So it's like over $7.30 less per hour, you know, than the standard like livable amount. I just find I spend, you know, so much time trying to survive, and I get off a shift, you know, and I'm tired, and I'm even quite sore now because I had an injury to my knees that, you know, the dogs, I had a bad fall related to the dogs, like sort of a big yank, and I landed right on my knees. So that's getting better, but, you know, again, that really slowed me down. So it was all I could do to kind of get through my shifts.
Breathtaking.
I'm working today, and it's nice. I did have yesterday off, but I had a job interview, and I also had an interview at Work BC, like a appointment. So it sounds like there's some supports in trying to help, you know. I'm going to be getting my food safe ticket, and, you know, you can get a first aid, and, you know, Microsoft Office. Like there's some really great supports in this province. I actually don't know how it compares to Ontario, but, you know, when I lived here in the 90s, I know that the healthcare and the amount of community healthcare supports really far exceeded what there was in Ontario. And that's good, because that at least can help people get on their feet, you know, or transition to a new career. So apparently, with enough market research, that there's, you know, a viable full-time job, they will help pay for up to a 1 year's course here to retrain. They will also consider a wage subsidy if a business said, you know, we're willing to take on this person who doesn't quite have the experience and will on-the-job train. Then they will give them a subsidy for up to 6 months. So, and I think that's productive. you know, I have been getting kind of tired though, and, you know, I find my mood, you know, it's affected. I'm not like as upbeat about the whole thing as I was when I came out here, or, you know, I kept thinking around the corner things were going to improve, you know, and it's just, I've been here now November, December, January, February, so 4 months, and it is improved somewhat, but I'm like, if I still have to worry about if I get a flat tire, then things haven't improved enough. And that would really screw me, you know, at that point, because I would be stuck wherever I was that I got the flat. I would be stuck. And then, of course, you know, you would bring on bylaw issues and tickets, and, you know, then that whole thing would start. So I've been wanting to make a video for quite a while about just the reality of living at this level of wage, the real experience. And it ain't easy. Let's just say that. It isn't easy. Anyway, the dogs had a good run this morning, and I've got to get myself off and ready to find parking near where I'm working. So I will sign off for now, and you know, I appreciate, you know, everyone who has taken the time to like and subscribe, you know, and leave a comment. And, you know, I feel like I've met some really nice people through that way. You know, and that hopefully at, like, it's my goal to make it to the RTR event next January. I'm hoping I'm going to be in position for that. So that I can meet some of these YouTube folks that I've been meeting, you know, through commentary and whatnot. And just some of the really cool people that are out there putting out content and living the lifestyle. And, you know, I've gotten a lot of good tips from people that I've met. And, yeah, I've made some changes to the setup here. I'm still in a bit of disarray from it all. I just have a blanket up because it's cold. It's been cold, and so that helps keep some of the heat in at night. Yeah, I really hope to do that. But you know, my cabin in the woods is starting to look like a really good option at this point. It's like, well, you know, if the job experience that I've had so far can help me get a job locally where I'm, you know, only, you know, 10 kilometers from my property, that's something I can even cycle, you know, if the gas, you know, if the gas is too expensive. You know, and then of course I'll be, you know, maybe then in a position to take a cheap flight back out here for working again at the liquor store. You know, I guess it'd be ideal to have employment opportunities, you know, in both provinces, because I have a child, you know, in Ontario, and a partner, and I have, you know, a child out here. So anyway, I'm hoping for a break. I really am. I'm really hoping for a break. You know. So everybody take care, and I wish you all the best, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day, week, and a better year than last year. Bye for now.